Most freelancers have no idea when or how to follow up with a past client. So what usually happens is they go silent for months or years, and then they send, a one-off awkward email because they need work and some guy on social media told them to go pitch their past clients. And shocker, that email gets ignored because reactivating a past client isn't about checking in. It's about showing up with good timing and a smart offer. So let's talk about the 3 reoffer windows. Here's where reactivation on a client works the best. First and foremost, and the best window, and hopefully the one that you take advantage of every time, is immediately after the first project. Honestly, that's a little bit of a misnomer because it's technically before the first project is even finished. Before you deliver them the final asset, take them by the hand and walk them to what comes next. Walk them to the next logical problem that you're going to solve for them, either based on conversations you've had with them, based on observations you've made, based on literally anything that we've talked about here today. Don't wait for months after the final delivery. This isn't dating. It's not lame to be the first one who talks. Don't wait for them to call you. Suggest the next project while you've still got momentum. The second reoffer window. So say you missed that window, or timing didn't work out. You tried to take advantage of that window and just nothing stuck. The second reactivation window is after a sexy win with another client. Send an email like the one we talked about that just says, hey, just finished this thing and it made me think of you. Here's how we can adapt it for your brand, for this problem that I either know or have a strong hunch you're solving for. Because again, we've talked about this already in this video. It aligns them with the sexiness of that work that you just did, right? So they see what you did and they think, wow, we would look pretty good in that solution. And then 2, it plants it right there in the context of their problems, right? Okay, he's got a fix for this thing that I'm solving for. I want to chat with him. And then the third reoffer window would be on a quarterly rhythm. Every 3 months, I develop a new offer and I send it to my past clients list. Not a mass email. Each email gets somehow, that new offer gets presented in the context of my relationship with that client and, the problems that I know that they're solving based on all the notes that I've taken over our conversations. The important thing is that I'm always showing up to their front door with a solution in hand. Even if it's not always the one that they go for or not something that's pertinent to them at the time, they understand me as a strategic partner who wants to see them win. And maybe I show up with this new offer in hand and they go, hey, Brindle, we're not interested in that right now, but I'm really glad that you reached out because we were in a meeting talking about this and I can't believe I didn't even think of you guys. You got 15 minutes, let's talk about it. Hey, we're trying to do more of these, all right? And in order to do that, we need to be bigger. We need a bigger audience. So subscribe and then send this link to your freelance buddies, to your aunt that's always wanted to start a freelance business, to your friend with the 9-to-5 that could be doing better. And let's grow this page together, all right? The number one thing that makes reactivation work, that makes these reactivation strategies work, is proof. By far, the most effective approach is showing what worked for another client, ideally a big deal client in their niche. We ran this thing for big deal client X. Here's some results we got. Maybe share a little intel, right? Something that feels inside, and it immediately made me think of you. Lead with intel, back with results, and close with next step. Do you have 15 minutes to hop on a call? The first time I ever witnessed the power of this email, it was an act of monetary desperation. I was living with my girlfriend, soon-to-be fiance, soon-to-be wife at the time, and I was looking at rent coming up and not quite sure what to do about that. And so I fired that email off to everybody that I'd ever met in the history of me, and it got me several jobs the next week. I did that once, and I learned my lesson. Okay, let's keep finding excuses to do that, to send out those custom one-to-one emails to every client that I've ever worked with new offers, with new problems that I'm solving, with new examples of, sexy work that I've done for either significant clients or clients that nobody's ever heard of, but, work that I could plant in the context of that particular individual's ROI, return on investment. Most clients see client work as a one-time thing, and they miss the foundational building block of a freelance business, which is repeat business. The real trick The real skill of freelancing is relationships, is keeping clients coming back for more, is increasing the lifetime value of your customer, not just by raising your rates, but by working with them longer. You can work your way up to 10K, 20K, 50K clients, but imagine if you do that while simultaneously extending the life of that relationship to where they're coming in at those numbers 3-4 times a year. Client retention, it's about showing up. It's about showing up with new ideas, new reasons, new solutions, new excuses to collaborate. The most successful freelancers I know aren't the ones who land the best, most expensive clients. They're the ones who've mastered this art of repeat business, of building a relationship with their clients that's based on strategic partnership. Hey, if you're still here, that means you really should subscribe and turn on notifications. If you knew what I knew about what content is coming, there would be no hesitations. Just 2 quick clicks. Subscribe, turn on notifications.